everybody. It is officially day 14 of my water-only fasting journey. I am feeling pretty good so far this morning. Starting to notice an increased mental clarity, almost like you become connected to like a universal energy or something. Been doing a lot of reading, spiritual books, meditating, relaxing a little bit more, not trying to push myself too hard, drinking my favorite beverage, water. It's amazing, the more that you go on the fast, how water begins to just energize you. In the mornings I've been waking up, and still this morning I had a little bit of chest congestion, and coughing a little bit of stuff up, which is great. I want to get everything out of my body as I possibly can. But energy-wise, I feel great. And the dreams I was having last night were just, very peaceful, very loving. And usually about an hour or two into my day is when I start to get my energy back. Like my body was healing itself during the night, and obviously I'm not drinking any water during the night. So as soon as I start getting water back into my system in the mornings, I start feeling more energized and more energized and more energized as the day goes on. At least that's what happened yesterday. I'll see about today. So, so far so good. No other negative symptoms. But I do keep getting a question that I'd like to answer from people who think I'm starving myself. And the question is, does fasting put the body into starvation mode? I'm going to be a philosopher for a second. I was accepted to MIT's ACE program. I was accepted and graduated. I was accepted to Harvard's OPM program. Let me tell you, if you think about it, the most college-educated and intellectual scholars, doctors, all that, are the ones that die the earliest. It's not how book smart you are. And I'm not, just because I did, and continue to do research year after year after year, it doesn't make me smarter than you. It doesn't make me live longer than you. True intelligence is becoming awake to the reality in which we live in. Knowing and paying attention and doing your own research and understanding the truth behind everything, because they will not teach you the truth in any school. It's all taught so you can go into the workforce and stress and get sick and die and get on pharmaceuticals and die. It's not teaching you how to become alive. It's teaching you how to die. So, I'm not saying that college is bad or anything like that, or you shouldn't become educated. But what I'm saying is, don't believe everything that you're taught. And, and the reason why I'm talking about that is because you've been taught to fear fasting because you've been taught that you're going to starve to death. And I keep getting this question over and over and over again. You're going to starve to death. You're going to starve to death. How do you know I'm going to starve to death? Well, because that's what's been instilled in your mind. All of these negative things have been instilled in our minds for so long. It's like the Matrix. We have to break out of that and become the person that we were born to become, and become alive and awake, awaken to the true reality of who we are. And water fasting helps you do that because it centers you. How much time do people pay attention to themselves? Very little time, because it's designed that way for you to constantly be focusing on this and focusing on that and focusing on that, to take your attention from what really matters, your connection with God and who you are inside, and to not pay attention to yourself. And that's what water only fasting helps you do. I've been telling you guys, it's a mental challenge, it's a physical challenge, but it's now on day 14, I'm starting to realize, and can feel my body and my mind and my soul start to merge, which is an incredible feeling. So this question, and also whoever it was that asked it, says, then the body starts using the body instead of diet for food. It's a big misconception. There's a bunch of myths that your body's just going to waste away and you're going to, have all these situations. So I actually pulled up a journal article from Dr. Hereward Carrington, and this is a journal called Physical Culture that came out in 1915. A lot of the fasting stuff, there's not a lot of current research on it, so you have to go back in time. These guys knew what they were doing. We've just suppressed it all. That he said in Physical Culture in 1915 that many doctors, even in 1915, speak of the fasting or starvation cure, which simply shows that they do not know what they are talking about. Fasting is an absolutely different thing from starvation. Fasting is beneficial. Starvation is harmful. One is a valuable therapeutic measure, fasting, and the other a death-dealing experiment. Your body is able to recycle during fasting existing nutrients. That's another question I always get. Well, you're losing all your nutrients. You're losing all your electrolytes. What are you going to do? People are writing in, you need to be on Himalayan salt, or you need to put baking soda, or you need to do this. No, you don't. That's all a myth. Your body is able to recycle all the existing nutrients. In a normal state, the body loses both essential amino acids and essential fatty acids in the urine and the stool. When you water fast, your body retains those necessary nutrients. Since you are not consuming any food, you don't have any bowel movements, and therefore those nutrients do not exit your body through the stool. Your body is an intelligent recycling center. It has the ability to break down old proteins into amino acids, which in turn become building blocks for new proteins. In other words, the body retains essential nutrients and recycles them into new ones. Various health problems disappear as the body does not have to spend so much energy for digestive processes. Fasting gives the body a physiological vacation during which its internal processes perform house cleaning by breaking down unwanted, unnecessary, and unhealthy tissues and organisms. According to Dr. Jason Fung, who he's alive today and he's one of the top doctors doing research on fasting, he's a world-renowned expert, micronutrient deficiency is rare in the developed world. There is absolutely no need to take any multivitamin or mineral supplements during a water-only fast. In fact, This would reactivate your digestive process and pull you out of the state of ketosis and regeneration. So, hope that answers all the questions out there that people have been writing in. And that's it for my morning update on day 14. Thanks for all your support. Okay, day 14 of my water fast. My glucose level on the right is 46, and my ketone level is 7.2. I can say that today has been a great day, full of energy, but I've noticed a transition kind of taking place. I mean, more of just feelings of love, especially for family. My sister-in-law, which I just call her my sister, sent me the most beautiful, loving, supportive message. She's been watching the videos with my brother-in-law, which I call just my brother. And it just made me contemplate on how important family is. I mean, I just had a moment of clarity and love that actually started crying. And how much we lose the simple things that we should be attached to in life, and lose the connection because we let the outside world take us in so many different directions. So it's been a very positive, emotional day for me. Just experiencing and just closing my eyes and appreciating the blessings that I have with my family, my wife, my kids, my sister, my brother, and my mom's mom. Because I lost my family. I lost my whole family. My mom and dad died of cancer when I was in my 20s. 2 years after that, my grandparents were gone, all my aunts, my uncles, everybody. I still have another brother in Tennessee and another brother in Florida. And, but I don't really have contact with them all the time. So pay attention to your family and just take a step back and appreciate what you have in your family. They're the ones that are always going to be there for you. They're the ones that are always going to love you, no matter what, through thick or through thin. And give thanks to your family is the message that I've been receiving and contemplating on today. So I feel really good. I feel very happy. And as this transition takes place, just since yesterday, of having these emotions come up and be released, it's an awesome experience. So I'm not really the kind of guy that, cries and stuff like that. My dad was, barely around, and I think he told me he loved me one time. So, it's good to just kind of go into your heart and to evaluate who's there with you and the power that you have with your immediate family. So with that being said, I wanted to go back in history a little bit when we talk about fasting. Fasting's been around for a long time. As a matter of fact, Dr. Harriet Austin, she lived from 1825 to 1891. She was the editor of the Laws of Life magazine in the mid-1800s. She was one of the first women to graduate from medical school in the United States. Dr. Austin became a water fasting advocate, She also embraced other parts of natural hygienic treatment, which included sunshine, clean air, rest, healthy vegetarian food, clean water, and exercise. That was in the 1800s. Another big fasting advocate of the late 1800s was Dr. Henry Tanner. He practiced water fasting himself and became famous for his 42-day water fast in New York in 1880. He started his fast without food or liquid, but began drinking water after the 10th day. Since many people didn't believe that Dr. Tanner could fast so long, he decided to repeat his fast under medical supervision and kept a journal of his daily progress. Because of the huge publicity Dr. Tanner received, more than 2,000 people gathered to witness Tanner break his fast. The New York Times reported on his progress after the fast. Encouraged by the response, Dr. Tanner started a tour promoting water fasting as a cure for disease. He called fasting the elixir of youth. And I'll end this afternoon update on that note. This is my evening update. Have not had any cravings today. I did get hungry maybe once or twice, but that, passes with water. Had a great day. It's been an emotional day, but very, very, very positive. Did a lot of soul searching. I feel like I made a lot of progress within myself today. So that is a very, very good thing. And one more day down. So all in all, my body feels good. Not having any pains, aches, anything like that. Still drinking roughly 2 gallons, maybe a little bit more a day. I try to drink as much as I can. And so far, that's about all I can report on. I did want to answer a few more questions. Had a question because I've been talking about sun gazing, and I actually just got done sun gazing as well. Staring directly at the sun for 15 minutes, that sounds to me like it would induce eye problems later in life. Sun gazing's been around for a long time, and when I talk about sun gazing, I'm not talking about looking at the sun when it's straight up in the sky, because that would be damaging. I'm talking about right at sunrise and right at sunset. And usually only for about 10 or 15 minutes at sunset and maybe 10 or 15 minutes at sunrise. There's a lot of information online regarding sun gazing, so I recommend that you get more information online. So I'm definitely not recommending that you look at the sun anytime during the day except sunrise and sunset. Another question is, I am breastfeeding. Would it hurt my supply if I fasted 1 day a week? I do not recommend, and none of the doctors recommend that you fast during pregnancy, breastfeeding. As a matter of fact, there are some cases medically supervised where that might be okay. So usually people who should not fast are children, pregnant women, and elderly at a certain age because they're on so many different medications, and usually the advanced elderly. Although some of that research seems to be changing now, there's very, very little research right now on the benefits of fasting because the journals will not publish them or it's hard to get funding to do them because it's a threat to the pharmaceutical companies. So, I'm still learning, we're all still learning, and it's a journey that all I can present to you is the research that I've pulled up over the last year and a half, and the benefits and what to do and what not to do. Talking about some history, more than 2,000 years ago, legendary Greek philosopher and mathematician Pythagoras practiced and promoted fasting. Pythagoras fasted on only water for 40 days. In order to enroll in his classes, his students had to fast 40 days as well. Other philosophers and scholars such as Plato, Socrates, and Aristotle all practiced water fasting as a healing therapy. Socrates and Plato performed shorter fasts, but practiced them regularly. Their fasts typically lasted 10 days at a time. So all of these great philosophers and scholars, they all used water fasting. Paracelsus, one of my mentors, the one that I study the most, he's the founder of modern chemistry and modern medicine. He's the one that created alchemy and one of the first botanists and herbal extractors. One of the fathers of Western medicine went as far as claiming that water fasting was the physician within and the greatest remedy available. Have a good evening. I will see you tomorrow.